Okay. Very good afternoon, everyone. So, I, Vachalata Joshi, going to present my research paper on the topic social criticism in and human predicament in the wasteland, and a poem Howl by Allen Ginsberg. And this is the modern age poems. Set. This is the table of content. In this presentation, I'm going to deal with two theories, which is the social criticism and beat generation. And we can say, we can call jazz age to the beat generation. The cultural manipulation in Wasteland and American Dream, COVID and Wasteland, Howl, the poem and the American Dream, human predicament in Wasteland and human predicament in Howl, and conclusion. So let us begin with the introduction to the theories. The social criticism is a term which deals with the societal issues, kind of economic, cultural, and societal context, in which we can include the financial crisis, religious degradation, spiritual degradation, sexual perversion, and the term Beat Generation is described as a postmodern American cultural phenomenon, and that peaked in 1950s and 1950s. So we can say that it has been a rise from the modern age, and we have a lot of great works from the modern age. Like first of all, I want to mention The Great Gatsby, as it was the one of the best of jazz age description in it by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Now moving to the Wasteland, we all know that it has been structured in five parts. It has it is a multilingual, multiple verses, fragmented imaginary. It has the themes like spiritual degradation, religious degradation, sexual perversion, and human predicament in Wasteland. And same as that, the poem Howl by Allen Ginsberg has divided into three sections. It also has free verse. It is exploration of taboo. It has rejected the traditional values. In this image, we can see that the drug use in the younger age, the homosexuality and child abuse. This has been the exploration of taboo mentioned in the poem Howl. The cultural manipulation in the Howl. Shweta, can you please change the sheet? In the Wasteland, in the second section, a game of chess, it implies manipulation of society and dictates the society's level through the description of sexual encounters. He demonstrates how societal norms and people's lifestyle have changed dramatically. He emphasizes both the crumbling societal hierarchy and high quality of life. His line openly expressed the perverted mind's delusionment. It marks the beginning of a new era in which the mind, body, and soul are assumed to be liberated and liberal. But the poet sees a type of setback for the modern era. Sensual pleasures and immoral activities peaked during the 20th century. So, when in our class we had the movie screening of The Great Gatsby, we can see the modern era was at its peak of sensual pleasures and immoral activities. Wasteland as American Dream. In this, Eliot suggests that modern society has lost touch with the spiritual and cultural roots, uh, and he uses reference to mythology, religion, and literature to suggest that there is no longer a coherent cultural narrative can provide meaning and purpose. So we have seen that Eliot has mentioned a lot of mythical examples in his poem to compare that era with modern age. That there has been a lot of change from the mythical illusions to the actual society, and we can see the things mentioned in the wasteland has been still going on. We have the recent example of COVID-19, when we had this COVID, and as that Spanish flu was, it says that each 100 times and kind of uh, flu or kind of human predicament says that in thousands years back we had Spanish flu. Before that we had that plague, and now we have COVID. So in part that COVID was over time the symbol used in the poem have been depicted, making it important social document. Now, moving to COVID and Wasteland, the poem was likely inspired by the impact of World War One and its aftermath on society. So, after World War One, there has been a lot of literature has been generated because of during the World War One, the lot of people were locked in their home, like people, the normal people who used to work like 9 to 5, not in army, has been in home. They have generated a lot of literature around that era. So. From there we have got this poem that Wasteland was one of that, as Eliot was locked in some place where he was working. So from that the Wasteland was generated as the concept of writing during pandemic lockdown. It was from the Wasteland, which led the poet to search for symbols to represent experience that could not be expressed directly. Howl and American Dream. The American Dream, the poem portrays the poem portrays a society that is repressive and conformist, characterized by a moloch. Moloch was a metaphor used for industrial capitalist system that suppress individual expressions and creativity. So it is used for the younger generation. Like we are from 90s, and now the Gen Z generation is way developed. Their mind is way developed than us. So in a way that it has been seen as the system is seen as having a dehumanizing effect on individual, leading to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and despair. So many of us we have going through a lot of anxiety attacks, panic attacks due to loneliness and physical attacks, as well as the mental attacks on ourself. The poem explores the struggle of individuals to break free from the system and asserts their own identity desires. The struggle is often to portrayed in terms of sexuality, with the characters in the poem seeks to explore their own desires in a way that challenges and it has conventional norms. So in this poem, Howl, the poet Allen Ginsberg is has a humor that he has homosexually involved in the such literary things. So it has been said that the modern age was right from the beginning was very, we can say, very generative through there has been a lot of modern literary movements, we can say Dadaism, then absurdity and existentialism. These are the new things which has evolved as modern era in the 20th century. In conclusion, I would like to say that the poem is powerful critique of modern American society. So both poem is being the best example. Not we cannot say the best example, but a powerful critique of modern American society, and it values and it speaks against conformity, consumerism, and materialism that Ginsberg saw as a dominant in his time. The poem is also notable for its frank depiction of homosexuality and drug use both. So, in 20th century, we have been habituated and learned to speak out about the homosexuality, drug use, and sexual attacks and child abuse. So as that Elias' depiction of spiritual degradation in the wasteland is often seen as a reflection of the larger cultural and intellectual trends of the early 20th century. Many writers and thinkers of the time were grapplingly with a similar question about the nearing meaning of life and nature of human condition. Eliot's work in particular helped to define the modernist movement in literature, which was characterized by its skepticism of traditional values and its emphasis on the subjective experience of the individual. Thank you. These are the work cited. Thank you.